FPL Physio here, back with another video. Today's focus will be injury review of all the yellow flag players. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking and starting this video. I really appreciate it. Feel free to comment, share, like it. I really just appreciate you spending time watching my videos. So I only got 2 yellow flag players. I know a lot of managers got a lot more, but I only got 2. This is my team as it stands now, 3.1 million in the bank and 5 free transfers. So I'm not complaining compared to some managers who might have 4 or 5 yellow flag players. So the yellow flag players that we're gonna focus on are O'Reilly, Andersen, Rice, Wilson, Evanilson, Haaland, and Wirtz. I just added a few more players to make it a bit more dramatic. Let's start diving into Harry Wilson because he's extremely popular in FPL. And we now know that he did twist his ankle in the first half. I think he asked to be substituted during halftime, but he continued to play on and eventually had to come off in the second half. It's probably mainly due to pain, of course, but also probably due to swelling. It's very, very positive that he was able to play on in the second half, especially also because it happened in the first half, and you would assume that during halftime the ankle will start to swell quite a bit. That's quite normal if it's a serious one, which would make him almost unable to play on, or it would be a stupid decision from the team to play on. But he did play on, which means I think it's a very, very minor thing, and most players recover within a few days when you twist your ankle, and you're like most people recover in a few days if it's like a minor twist and you're able to keep playing. And so I think it's a very, very positive sign. If I owned Wilson, I would hold him. Like, he's definitely a hold. Has a great fixture in game week 31 as well, where some teams blank. So I would hold him. I really can't comment on, if he's going to start or not. I'm only looking at the injury itself, but I mean there would be an argument to rest him, of course, because it's midweek, only a few days to recover. But Harry Wilson did post, I think I saw on Instagram or some other media, that I think he wrote, "We go again on Wednesday." And he posted a picture of himself, of course. So you can you can see that as a positive sign when most people do that. Most players, when they do that, it's most of the times a positive thing. So he's a hold. If I owned Wilson, I would probably start him unless we get other info, because I think there's a no shit. I don't know, man. But I would definitely hold him. Of course, it depends on your team whether you want to start him or not. Joachim Andersen was out with illness. I'm not a doctor, but I think there's a pretty decent chance that he's able to recover. And I think Andersen is, of course, he's a 100% hold, and I also think that he's a start if you own him. I'm gonna start him, I think. Depends on my transfers, of course, but I'm gonna start him because illness is often that if you either play or you don't. And especially a player like Andersen, who's like he's very, very nailed. Play 90 minutes, almost every match. So I think he's a start for me. Um, Either he plays or he's out. I don't think there's a scenario where he comes off the bench. I don't see that happening. I'm not too stressed about him. Just make sure you have your bench ordered. Then we got Erling Bratt Haaland. What a mystery. I mean, was left out of the squad completely due to a minor injury. Pep has confirmed that it was not the knee, and we don't really know much. I just noticed that Haaland posted something on X, I think it was, where um, he posted a picture of himself, and I can't remember what he wrote. I think it was something like "New week, let's go" or something. Um, maybe a positive sign. I don't know. We don't like. I have no clue what the injury is, but we can go through it. I mean, if it's a muscular one, then they wouldn't play him. That would be too much of a risk, I think. Um, if it's a knock, or something like a dead leg, uh, then he would probably only need a few days to recover. Uh, so then he would probably play in game week 29. If it's a bone bruise, could also be that would hinder him a bit more. Then we don't really know. But the thing is that I think that the slightest doubt about him, and I'm probably gonna sell him then because he does blank in game week 31, and if he's a major doubt, um, I think I'm gonna sell him because he's maybe he needs to leave your team anyways for game week 31. And if we get the news that he's starting and he's fresh, of course he's a hold, but it would be so terrible if he comes off the bench or something, 20 minutes. Um, that would be horrible, especially because I think that if we get the news that he's in the squad, most people will captain him. Imagine him coming off the bench playing 20 minutes, 1 point. That would be horrible. So I'm very, very, I'm gonna be deep diving into whatever news that we get from Haaland. And no, I don't have access to any sort of leaks. So I won't bring you any because I don't get any. Yeah. O'Reilly, I saw the footage. He twisted his ankle, his foot, and he twisted it the medial way. You can twist your ankle, of course, in several ways, but the two most well known is the lateral one, where like you've probably uh, done it yourself multiple times. It's a standard roll. The other one is the medial one, so where you're, I don't know, it's hard to show, but it's the opposite of the lateral roll. The medial one, the one that O'Reilly had, is often a bit more serious because it's the on the inside of your ankle you have 4 really strong ligaments. So when you roll to that side and it does hurt or it does create some sort of ankle sprain or damage to the ligaments or a strain or something, then it's often worse because it's so strong compared to on the lateral side of your ankle is a lot more weak, and that's why that you often roll your ankle to the lateral side. So I would be a bit cautious. I think if I owed Nico O'Reilly with this doubt, I would probably sell him because he probably needs to leave your team anyway in game week 31, and he does have 2 not so great uh, fixtures after game week 31. So Nico O'Reilly, if I owed him, he would be a sell. Unless we get the news that he's completely fine. But if he's completely fine, let's say we get that news, would you even hold him then? I mean, are you so sure that with a well-known injury, will he play, or will Pep rotate quite a lot? I mean, he does have the depth now. I think Doku is back. Mamouche is of course back. Ranchaki hasn't played a lot of minutes, and O'Reilly now plays as almost an attacking midfielder. So the competition is very, very high on that position. So would you even play him if we know that he's fresh, or yeah, that's one for Pep. But if I owned him, I would probably sell him. So Wilson, if I owed him, I would hold him. I don't know if I would start him or not. I would probably start him. Andersen, I'm gonna start him, I think. Haaland, if any doubt, I'm gonna sell him. O'Reilly, if I owned him, then I would sell him. Next three players, Declan Rice. Declan Rice apparently asked to be substituted. And I saw the match. I think it was after he had to recover a ball, and he was doing this 20, 30, 35 meter sprint, passed a long ball back to Raya, which eventually led to a corner kick because it was such a horrible pass. You could kind of see that he was cooked, like he was done. He was toasted. And he continued for a few minutes, and then he eventually asked to be subbed off. So Arteta also said that he doesn't know, like he always say, and that they have to do some tests and blah blah blah. I would not be surprised if he gets rested. I would not be surprised if he's on the bench either. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's completely out of the squad. So if I owned Rice, I would probably also sell him. He's a major doubt. We don't know. He asked to be subbed off. Declan Rice doesn't do that. So major doubt, and I would probably sub him off. Also, I think Arteta mentioned something that, they got to keep all the players fresh. They need to rotate, blah blah blah, something like that. So if I owned Rice, I would probably sell him. Evan Nilsson, injured with a dead leg. I saw the incident. He was able to continue for a few minutes, but eventually had to come off. That's pretty standard as well for a severe dead leg. If you have to come off with a dead leg, then it's something. I wouldn't be surprised if he's rested against Brentford, which is good news for Copy owners. But again, a dead leg, I mean, it can be so much better the next 48 hours. So it's impossible to say, but it's a bad sign that he had to come off. I wouldn't be surprised if he's out or if he's on the bench. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's starting. So, a dead leg is impossible to give some sort of return to play on. Then we got Florian Wirtz just in the mix here because I think Arne Slot said that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's out for the next 2 weeks or something with a back injury. Not that common in football, but when they occur, it's often something a bit tricky. We don't really know what it is, but it happened during warm up for the game in game week 27, I think. And we don't really know, is it muscular? Is it something within the discus? Is it some of the tiny ligaments that you have between the bones? I don't know the English words for it, but the between the bones and the vertebra. Sorry, between the vertebra and the back. We don't really know. It can be anything, and it's really dependent on that. But Wirtz, I think, is out for the next 2 weeks, as Arne Slot said. What would I do if I owned him? Of course, sell him. Because now we know that he's out. Yeah. Just a quick injury review on what I would do with the players if I owned them, and the ones that I do own. I think the two major ones we can look at my team again is Andersen and Haaland. I'm gonna do a team selection transfer thoughts thing tomorrow, I hope, where I'm gonna talk a bit more about my move regarding Haaland and maybe Mbemo, maybe Andersen, maybe Joachim Andersen. What will I start him? Maybe also, I mean, will Timber start? We don't know. Yeah, midweek is always a bit chaotic. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you found it just a little bit valuable. Like, share, comment. I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. Thank you.